Oh, welcome to my place. It's lovely to see you again. Now, it is the middle of winter. I would love to be outside in my garden, but somebody gave me the flu and I just physically cannot get outside. So I'm going to apologize for my voice, but also because it is so dark and so cold and so miserable and wet outside, it is time that we can invest in getting ourselves all prepped up and ready for when the spring comes, or just before the spring, and we can get out into the garden and get it all neat and tidy. I have been gardening for probably 30 years and my arms sometimes look like I have been to war, and I have decided that when I am 70, if I want to have nice looking skin on my arms, I'm going to have to protect them, and that's what we're going to make today, and they are called gardeners arm protectors. Have a look at these. These are fantastic things, and I've made them out of a plastic tablecloth, and they're so cheap, and you can, out of one tablecloth, you can probably get 2 or 3 pairs of these, and you can invest some time and make some more, and they'll make wonderful gifts for your gardening friends. So let us begin. First of all, you need to get yourself a plastic tablecloth. These are under about $11. Fantastic. They come in all sorts of patterns and sizes. And the great thing about these is, hold on, let me get that out of there. When you open it up, it's actually got some fabulous like padding and some nice soft stuff in there. Oops. So that when that's on your skin, you don't have that plastic which would make it, when you get all hot in the garden and it gets all sweaty. Well, with that lovely lining, you don't get that. Right, from there, once you've got your tablecloth, selected the one that you want, don't forget it's a plastic one, you now need to find a pattern. Now, this is an old pattern. It fits me. I've made lots and lots of dresses out of this. And when you look into it, you'll notice it's got a sleeve. You need a sleeve pattern. You could probably just like wing it and cut it. But if you want it to fit nicely on your arm, don't forget you're going to be bending, so it needs to fit. Right, what you do is you get your pattern out. And you can get these from Spotlight, and in fact, all the material today you can get from Spotlight. Okay, now there is my sleeve pattern, and see this little round bit here? We don't want that, and when you look at the pattern, it's got all sorts of instructions like lengthen or shorten here, or if you want a small cap sleeve, you've got your little line across there. Well, we don't want that, but that's the bit that goes up into the shoulder. We don't need that, but so what we're going to do is we're just going to bend that down like that. Now, you might need to get yourself a tape measure and measure from your wrist to as high up your arm as you want your arm protector to be. So take that measurement, and what I also suggest you do is take a measurement around your wrist and also around the top of your arm, wherever it's going to be, because you don't want this too tight and you don't want that too tight, so that you cut the circulation off. Right, from there, once you have done that, get your material out, lay it out flat, and then position that onto your fabric. So I've already measured mine to know how long I want it to be. So then it's just a matter of pinning. Take your pins and pin these around. Make sure that that bit there is straight. Well, I've actually made several of these, so I know that it is going to fit me. And if you wanted to, and you're not into sewing, what I suggest you do is to just have like a little wee test run on a piece of scrap material. Right, from there, cut across there. And I'm just going to add a little bit more down the bottom here, because we're actually going to have a casing around the wrist and also around the top. So from there, and I'm adding just a little bit more on the sides because it was just a little bit tight when I made it the first time. But once you've got your pattern already established, you'll be just away laughing. It's fantastic. And then make sure that that is a nice and straight across there. Right, from there, once you've done that, let me just get rid of all of this because we don't want that in the road. I'm loving this bit around the back here. It's great. Okay, get rid of all of those bits there. Now, I forgot to mention, you will need a sewing machine. And if you haven't got one, might I suggest you go off to Spotlight. They have all sorts of specials and they come up all the time. And you can get a really good sewing machine for about $229, $250. Great investment. Right, from there, once you've done that, it's just a matter of bringing that to there and then pinning along there. And I always pin. And what's that little saying that they say? measure twice, cut once. Okay, take that up to there, and that goes all the way up to there. And then because we've added enough for our seam, you probably need a 1 centimetre seam. You're going to use your sewing machine and you're going to sew up there like so on both of them. Now, with the magic of television, and because I've had lots of time, I've actually done this. So what we've done is I've sewn, you can see where I've sewn that 1 centimetre along there. The next thing that you have to do is to form your casing. Now, before you start doing that, what you need to do is to get some elastic. Now, I've just got some old elastic here, but what I've done is I've actually measured around my arm so that that's not too tight. Not too tight. Don't forget, we don't want to take this, cut our circulation off. So that measure around there and also around the wrist like so. And then you need to see the depth of your elastic there to determine how big a casing you're going to have around there. So get that sorted out and then pin around there as well. And then you're going to go up to the other end, turn that down, and don't forget that this here, whatever the elastic is there and there, it's got to be this exactly the same. Pin around there and sew, leaving a little opening big enough so that you can get your elastic. So here we are here, all ready to go. Now just put a pin there. I always used to do 2 pins, a pin on this end and a pin on this end, because there's nothing worse than when you thread it in and then you're pulling that out and you pull it so tight when you're getting it around, because you do have to sort of like juggle it around like this as you're doing it, right? Just push that around there, and it's, if you give it a big pull and then the elastic comes out the other side, oh, I just can't be bothered with it. So anyway, take that around to there, and then you might just do, look, get in there and give it a good pull. And then when you get to the other side, just pull that through there like that. And see, I've got both the pins there. Then take that pin there out. And, oh, don't go. Oh, no. See what happened? Because I was too rough. You need both the pins. But anyway, you see what you're doing. Take the elastic through there. Take the elastic through there. When you get it to there, just stitch those bits of elastic there together inside your casing and then slip stitch that there closed. And then you will have your trusty garden arm protectors. And then when you get in the garden, you just put your gloves on like this, and I'll tell you what, you're ready to go. It's marvellous. Of course, you wouldn't be wearing gloves like this, but the thing that I love about these is insects can't get up my arm and they can't get down my arm, and these are fantastic for roses and raspberries and all those woody things that have got little prickles that are going to get your arm. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I've enjoyed inventing these, and in due course I'm going to show you how to make a garden kneeler, because I'm too old to be getting housemaid's knees in the garden. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon.